It's the end of 2008. Elon Musk is standing at a cliff. He has $180 million in his pocket from selling PayPal. Most people would take that money and retire to a private island. But Musk does the opposite. He decides to bet every single cent on two companies that are about to fail. SpaceX has already watched 3 of its rockets blow up. Tesla is a mess of broken parts and has almost zero cash. He is so broke that he has to borrow money from friends just to pay for his rent. He's waking up from nightmares in physical pain. His marriage is over and his companies are hours away from dying. Most people would call this a total failure. Musk calls it a Tuesday. This is how the man who challenged the sky started his reign. Elon Musk walks into the Twitter office carrying a kitchen sink. He tells the world to let that sink in. It was a joke for the internet, but it was also a big statement. Today, this one man has his hands on the most important tools in the world. He controls how we talk to each other on X. He controls the only way to send people into space with SpaceX. He even controls the way the world moves with Tesla. He's not just a boss or a billionaire anymore. He has become someone who works outside the rules of normal countries, like a king of industry. Some people think he's a hero saving our future. Others think he's a huge risk to the world. We are going into the mind of a man who decided he was the only one who could fix the future. The foundation of Elon Musk's world was not built on a safe pile of cash. It was built on the razor-thin edge of total disaster. To see how he works, we have to look back at the year 2008. This was the moment the entire dream almost died. His 2 biggest bets, Tesla and SpaceX, were burning through money faster than anyone could keep up with. SpaceX was in a scary spot. They'd already tried to launch their Falcon 9 rocket 3 times, and all 3 times it blew up in the sky. One more failure would have been the end of the company forever. At the same time, Tesla was stuck in production hell. They were struggling to build their first car, and the world economy was crashing. Musk had already put every single cent of his $180 million PayPal fortune into these companies. He left himself so cash poor that he had to borrow money from friends just to pay basic things like rent. This was not a smart business move. It was a desperate, all-in gamble. The stress was destroying him. He was waking up from nightmares in actual physical pain while facing a messy divorce. On Christmas Eve, Tesla found $20 million from investors just hours before they would have gone bankrupt. 2 days later, SpaceX won a $1.6 billion contract from NASA. This period showed a truth about Musk. He does not fear failure. He uses it as a sign that he's pushing the limits. He believes that if something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds are totally against you. SpaceX has completely changed the way we think about the cost of getting into space. By the year 2024, this one company was responsible for more than half of all the rocket launches on the entire planet. That is more than any country or private company in the world. The secret to this power is something called reusability. For a long time, the space industry worked like a commercial airline that threw the plane away after every single flight. It was wasteful and way too expensive. SpaceX changed everything by learning how to land their boosters vertically on a landing pad. The difference in price is hard to believe. A launch for a SpaceX Falcon 9 costs about $67 million. To compare, NASA's own rocket costs nearly $2 billion for just one launch. That is a 30-fold difference in price. SpaceX is not just cheaper, they're faster. By mid-2025, they were launching a rocket almost every 2 days. This gives them a total monopoly on sending satellites into orbit. But Musk is not stopping there. He's betting the future on the Starship program. If Starship works, it will be fully reusable and could drop the cost of space travel to as little as $100 per kilogram. This would effectively open the solar system to industry. For Musk, this is about more than just money. He believes that humanity needs extinction insurance. He thinks we need to make humans a multi-planetary species to survive threats like nuclear war or rogue AI. In his mind, Mars is not just a destination. It is a backup drive for human consciousness. Starlink is the first massive satellite internet system in the world. It is a part of SpaceX and has turned from a business into a powerful political tool. By the end of 2025, SpaceX was running 2/3 of all active satellites in orbit. This system provides fast internet to places where there are no wires or where everything has been destroyed. It's like a digital bridge for parts of the world left behind. The war in Ukraine showed the world exactly how much power Starlink has. When Russia invaded, Musk turned the system on in Ukraine. It became the lifeline for the military. They used it to aim big guns and control drones. Even hospitals and schools used it to stay open. But this creates a huge risk because one person owns Starlink. The power to turn it off belongs to Musk. There are stories of Musk restricting the service in certain areas. He reportedly blocked coverage near Crimea to stop an attack on the Russian fleet. He said he did it because he did not want to start a bigger war. This made world leaders very nervous. They realized they were relying on one man instead of a government. Starlink is also a money-making machine. In 2025, it was expected to make nearly $12 billion. This money is used to build the Starship rocket, then Starship can launch even more satellites for less money. It's a loop that gives Musk total control over the internet and space. What makes a man work 100 hours a week across 5 different industries? The answer is in how he thinks. Musk does not think like a normal boss. He uses something called first principles. This is a way of looking at the world based on physics. Instead of doing things because that's how they've always been done, he breaks everything down to the basic truths. If you want to build a rocket, he says, you should not look at what other companies charge. You should look at the price of the raw materials, like aluminium and copper. Then, you figure out how to put them together for yourself for much less. This is how SpaceX built rockets for a fraction of the usual cost. He also looks at negative feedback. Most people want to be told they're doing great, but Musk wants people to tell him what's wrong, so he can fix it. He also leads from the front lines. During production hell at Tesla, he slept on the factory floor. He wanted his workers to see that he was suffering just as much as they were. But there is a dark side to this. People who work for him say he can be very blunt and cold. He cares about humanity as a whole, but he often doesn't seem to care about individual humans. His biographer says Musk has a default setting of war. He gets nervous when things are calm. He's addicted to crisis and drama. When things are going well, he has a habit of messing them up just to have a new problem to solve. This intense drive is what builds empires, but it also leaves a lot of damage behind. That addiction to crisis eventually led Musk to his most chaotic move yet. He bought Twitter for $44 billion. It was a deal many experts called a massive mistake. To pay for it, he had to sell billions in Tesla stock, which made the car company's value drop. He basically put his whole empire at risk to save what he called the digital town square. Once he took over, he fired half the staff and changed the name to his favorite letter, X. He claimed he was a free speech absolutist, but his actions told a very different story. When he noticed one of his tweets about the Super Bowl got less attention than President Biden's, he made 80 engineers rebuild the algorithm. They boosted his posts by 1,000 times, so everyone would see them. He also banned journalists who criticized him and blocked links to other writing platforms like Substack. While he says he hates government censorship, X now says yes to government requests 80% of the time. That is much higher than before he bought it. But for Musk, X is not just a social media app, it's a massive data engine. It provides real-time information to train his AI chatbot, Grok. While other AI models use old data, Grok learns from the world's conversations as they happen. This turns a struggling website into a critical tool for his AI future. Even though advertisers left and the value dropped at first, By early 2025, the platform's influence grew again because it became the primary place for political talk. Musk is not trying to change how we talk. He's trying to change how we think. His company Neuralink wants to merge the human brain with computers. He's worried that as AI gets smarter, humans will become like house cats to digital machines. To prevent this, he wants to give us superhuman brain power. In 2024, the first human received a chip in his brain. This patient was paralyzed, but soon he was playing chess and browsing the web just by thinking. By 2026, many more people joined the trials, using their minds to design 3D objects. While Neuralink works on the brain, his company xAI is building a massive supercomputer called Colossus. It uses 200,000 GPUs and eats up 40% of a city's daily power. Musk is betting that this raw power will help him win the race to create AI that is smarter than humans. In 2024, he also made a giant move into politics. He spent over $250 million to help Donald Trump win the election. In return, he was put in charge of a group called Doge. He went into the government with the same intensity he uses in his factories. He cut over 270,000 federal jobs and claimed to save billions by ending wasteful contracts. Critics argued he used this power to stop investigations into his own companies, like Tesla's safety issues. Even though he left the government job in 2025, he proved he could apply his maniacal focus to the world's biggest bureaucracy as easily as a rocket ship. Elon Musk is no longer just a businessman. He is an industrial sovereign who controls the internet, space travel, and the future of our brains. He has now integrated himself into the very infrastructure of the 21st century. His high-risk mindset is now our reality, for better or for worse. He told us to let that sink in. And now, we're all living in the house he built. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you never miss our next story.